Thank you for tuning into The Disclosures with Peter the Insider and Jessica Ariel Morocco. Peter is the director of the 12th Division of the ACIO, Advanced or Alien Contact Intelligence Organization. Jessica is a galactic liaison and the interdimensional seer. Together they will discuss the most current updates from the ACIO, Council of Five, and other extraterrestrial sources regarding many influences on our planet today. Our new format allows you to ask questions and hear the answers from the previous show. Post your question in the comment section below the YouTube video. Disclosures, insider intel that keeps you updated with planetary changes.
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us today in Disclosures. I'm joined here with Peter the Insider, and we're going to have a very good discussion regarding some of the current events, but also some other interesting topics. And without further delay, here is Peter the Insider.
Hello, I want to say hi to you and to all of our regular, maybe not so regular listeners.
Okay, yeah, and we appreciate everyone listening and joining us and learning some of the things that we're discussing, and the world is ever changing. So I decided to come up with this website that someone had sent me, and it's from deagle.com. It has a listing of 179 countries listed with a forecast for 2025. And then there's all sorts of information regarding what this is: a population of the millions. This is the gross domestic product. This is the defense budget. And I think this is was a power purchase for the party. Okay, so a switch of a list. This is started, I think, in 2017 and maybe even 2015. I've seen in some of the information. Supposedly, this is a nonprofit website built on someone's spare time. Here's the information that they have taken into account of the forecast. So you have all of these numbers that you could review, and I haven't reviewed all the numbers, but according to what was said down here, I thought it was quite interesting, because you just scroll down and it says 2014, we published a disclaimer about the forecast. In 6 years, the scenario has changed dramatically. The new disclaimer is meant to single out the situation from 2020 onwards, talking about the United States and the European Union as separate entities no longer make any sense. Both are the Western Bloc. Keep printing money and we'll share the same fate. So immediately that caught my attention, that, if first of all, calling Europe and the United States the same. And then they go on to talk about the issue of COVID, of what their conclusion is, that they would the Western world success model has been built over societies with no resilience and can barely withstand any hardship, even a low-intensity one. It was assumed, but we got the full confirmation beyond any doubt. The COVID crisis will be used to extend the life of this dying economy system through the so-called Great Reset. Then they go deeper to talk about the Great Reset, which is climate change, extinction, rebellion, planetary crisis, a green revolution, shale oil hoaxes promoted by the system, is another attempt to slow down dramatically the consumption of natural resources and therefore extend the lifetime of the current system. It can be effective for a while, but finally won't address the bottom line problems. They go on further to talk about the collapse of the Western financial system and the Western civilization. And then they talk about the Spanish flu, what happened during that time. The Soviet system was less able to deliver the goodies to the people than the Western one. Nevertheless, the Soviet society is more compact and resilient under an authoritarian regime. So in other words, because we had a freer system, they're saying that we're falling apart. Today's world population is 4 times greater than the air travel in the full swing, which is by a definition a super spreader. So they're talking about, all the stuff that's happening here in the Western world, and then it goes back and supports whatever is going on, but pretty much is talking about the change of the world order system, and discussions about how we were going to do a money reset, but also that there's going to be a huge population decline. And so I'm wondering if this is what people are talking about with this money change and money reset. And it's a bigger issue. I'd like to probably go into this deeper, but because they bring up the Russians sneak first strike against the United States and its allies with the new S-500 strategic missile defenses. I mean, I don't know if these are just projected ideas or if this information came from somewhere. They say down here the website's a nonprofit built on their own spare time. Once again, they remind everyone. So it's like they're not fully held responsible for what is being said here, but pretty much they're projecting the doom of the world. And then with that, then that's where the money changes after the population declines. So I was just wondering, Peter, did you want to say anything about this? Because this is getting to be a very big agenda. People have been talking about, how money reset's coming in. And everyone's asking me, when are you going to talk about the money reset? And my concern is that the money reset comes at a cost. That means that there's plenty of money left because a lot of people die. And for me, that bothers me. That bothers my conscience. I mean, like anyone, I'd love to, be financially set, but not at the expense of many people dying. So I want to understand this a little deeper. But Peter, maybe you can give us some of your ideas regarding this issue.
Okay, so technically, you are saying this and that. I mean, not you, but they are saying this and that, aka this very old stuff between Western and Eastern civilization, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the stuff is that we need, and this is it, we need to accept the fact the money as the phenomenon, it will be no longer. They will be no longer. Do you know what I'm talking about?
The issues of money, it's the printing of money and all that stuff is not going to exist.
Yeah, they will be totally wiped out, if you want to call it that way.
But what about the gold and silver and other?
Yeah, that will be another story. But I'm just saying what will happen with money.
But does that mean a lot of people going to die? Because that's pretty much what they're saying here.
No, they will go for barter.
They will go for barter, but they're saying that the Western world is pretty much ruined because of that they weren't in a totalitarian system. But so here is another particular of the Western system is that its individuals have been brainwashed to the point that the majority accept their moral high ground and technological edge is given. This has given the rise of supremacy of emotional arguments over the rational ones. The mindset can play out, and then they go, we could see the United States claims about G5 being stolen from them by China or hypersonic technology being stolen by Russia as the evidence that the Western elites are also infected by that hubris. over the next decade, it will be obvious that the West is failing or falling behind Russia and China bloc, and the Malays might grow into desperation. Going to war, it might seem a quick and easy solution to restore the lost hegemony, to finally find them into France in the 1940s movement. Back then, France did not have nuclear weapons to turn a defeat into a victory. The West might try to swap because of the unpleasant prospect of not being Mars and Venus, but rather a bully and his dirty bitch running away in fear, while the rest of the world is laughing at them. I mean, this is obviously someone has a leaning towards something. They definitely don't like the United States and the Western
But
world.
this is not only about not having, not liking US and Western world. This is about like it is, because in Western world they absolutely didn't get some sort of solid balance between giving people free will and freedom, and some sort of norm. How can I say it? Healthy. So that means like some sort of natural. I'm calling it healthy, natural balance between freedom and creating chaos. You know, because once you give people too many freedom and not how can I say it? Not to no, you once you put any sort of tools from the state, I mean from the government, of controlling people, once you put those tools away, you've got a problem. The exact same stuff as happened in US, as happened in as is happening in last few years in US, in France, in Benelux countries, in Germany, you know, in UK. Like it or not, it's true. It's true. And that's the problem. Because you know, it's like, okay, we are all about the freedom, but that's the problem. You know.
Well, I think freedom with consciousness is required. If you don't have freedom with consciousness, then you have chaos.
Let's talk it, maybe not consciousness. Let's talk it talk about it like freedom with respectively, with freedom will come or should come responsibility.
Yeah.
Do you know
Yep.
what I mean?
Absolutely.
Let's call it that way. But that's the problem, because once you as a government will not teach, so you will not make any sort of solid stuff within education system, and you will not teach that your children, your next generations, that in quotes, that means this responsibility. Of course, and don't take it the wrong way, people from Western parts of the world, aka Western Europe, US, and Canada, don't take it the wrong way. But I mean, our listeners are not in quotes stupid, but technically those people, they are not, let's say, responsible, but technically, you know, like they are not, I don't want to say they are not in charge, but they don't know how to deal with freedom. In most cases, they are not rebels. They are not
Right.
vandals.
Yeah.
It is simply because of lack of wisdom, you know.
Or structure. Yeah, there's some
Yeah,
structure in
or
this last.
yes. I
Yeah.
mean, of course, they are people. They really are, and I will not watch my language. They are really dumbasses, and they are always up to rebel against something. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, there's
But
always
it's
going to be that element in every society. But
yeah.
I don't think the communists have the right idea either. So it's one extreme over the other. And
I
somewhere,
don't want to say communists. I want to say that people And like it or not, this is true. Like it or not, this is true. People should have some sort of very, very, very hard and solid hand. Like it or not, believe it or not, I am in the military and I know that once you will give people freedom, they will start to create a mess. Yeah, really, really. And that's the problem. And not only once you give them a freedom, but once they have plenty of everything. Once they are not really in a need, that's the problem. Yeah, that's the problem. So, like it or not, like some sort of military or semi-military dictatorship, not dictator, but some sort of autocratic-ish stuff, like it or not, is true. This is the stuff what people, and I don't want to say this is the regime people should live in, but some sort of, how can I say it, balance, and this is the problem. Natural balance between freedom, and but not freedom as freedom, but some sort of, yes, okay, you have certain freedom, but you need to keep very strict rules. And that's the problem, that there is like, okay, is this freedom? No, this is not. You are autocrat. Do you know what I'm talking about? And that's the problem. That's the
Yeah,
you know
but
what I'm
that's what I'm
talking about.
saying is that somewhere it has to be a balance because you need leadership, but not a control system. You
But that's the problem, because once you don't have control system or autocratism-ish system, like it or not, most people can start to act reckless. No, I mean it for real. They start to act reckless. They are like, and please people don't take it wrong, but they are like those very high energetic dog race. It's like Alaskan Malamutes or Siberian Huskies, and especially once you crossbreed them, Husky Mutes, they are crazy. They can be low on food, they almost don't need to drink, and they are full of energy. They need to run a lot, like, I don't know, 80 miles per day, 130 kilometers per day minimum, and they are very intelligent. So you need not only run, so technically get their energy out, but mental stimulus. Do you know what I mean? And this is the problem.
yeah,
Do you know what
yeah.
I'm talking about?
Yeah, not
Like,
everyone, but yeah, that just a handful of people like that can really
yes,
create
yes.
chaos.
Because if you give people way too much freedom, and you can do this and that, and that's the stuff. They quickly became reckless.
Well,
That's the problem.
those are the ones that ruin it for everyone, as usual. There's always
Yes,
like
and
a
that's
handful of people that are out of their mind,
Abso-
and
absolutely, and
yeah,
because of few people, very few people, all the not all the, but how can I say it? Most, I mean, vast majority of society is suffering. Absolutely, you are right.
yeah, yeah,
Yep, because of few individuals, they will be rebellions practically in any sort of situation. Yep.
yeah. They can have everything right in front of them. They're still not satisfied. Dude, they got mental issues. Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm just saying
Well,
that in certain situations, certain occasions, you really, and that's the problem, it is not like all around the world, but certain countries and certain mentalities, you can't give them democracy, no, and especially not this like US or, I don't know, Canadian-ish stuff, but Canadian is another story, but especially not US. And I don't want to say that they are bad, no, they are not bad, but for example, people in Arabic world, no, they cannot have democracy, they cannot have um, how can I say it, Western or US type democracy. Do you know what I mean? It is like that, like it or not, it's true. because once they don't have strong, almost dictator-ish ship, you know, I don't want to say government, some sort of autocrat-ish, you know, leader. All wrong. That's the problem. That's the problem. You know, it's their, how can I say it, their mentality, you know.
Do you have any idea who this company is? This Ego, this nonprofit?
Yep. They are from another reality.
Okay, and so they came into our reality, what, to warn us, or?
Yes, warn us in order to, and this is the stuff, not like threaten us, but hey people, try to think, try to consider that what happened in another reality.
Okay, so this already plays out somewhere. That's what you're saying.
Absolutely. You got it right. Yep.
Yep, because they talk about the former world order. There was something over here too. Is a dramatic change, of course. The world is going to witness the first nuclear war. The Western Bloc collapse may come before then, or during, or after the war. And it does not matter. A nuclear war is a game with billions of casualties, and the collapse plays in hundreds of millions. And this is connected to the money reset.
And do you know what is absolutely crazy? That there will be no nuclear war.
Right. So that's not going to
No.
happen.
Give me a second. Do you know? Give me a second. Do you know why?
Why?
Because nukes are, and I will not watch my language, bullshit. They are not working. There are only very, let's say it is some sort of like, help me, solar eclipse. Do you know what I'm talking about? Only very little, how can I say, like very little, I mean small probability, like no, look at that, there is an eclipse. Do you know what I mean? And this is bad. There are only very little tiny, how can I say, like time slot during the year once they will explode. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Respectively, okay, they will explode, but not with that kind of crazy amount of, I mean, high power, like yield, big yield. There will be like, I don't know, like only 1 promille, that means like 1/10% of the actual power what it should be. Do you know what I mean? And only minimum percentage of people know that. Very small amount of people know that. It's funny. Why do you think countries like US, Russia, former USSR, they develop such crazy, that strong, that powerful, I mean, you know, nuclear weapons for a reason? No, of course not. Because they know, aha, once we want to detonize this, not in this very tiny time slot. No. No. Do you know what I'm talking about? And once you have, I don't know, like 8, 10, or I don't know, 13 or 15 megatons, and there can be like kilotons or so. Do you know a few tens, or let's say at the most few hundreds of kilotons? Of course, that will be crazy big explosion and, you know, destructive, I know, but not that huge-ish big as it matters. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
and this is like, what the heck? That's the stuff. That was the reason why they developed that strong weapons. That's and just by the way, that's the reason why, for example, once you have submarines, or I don't know, once you have bombardiers, so you know, this kind of strategic ish bombarders with the nuclear warheads, at the maximum, it is like 1 megaton-ish stuff, but it is maximum. It's crazy high, like 500, maybe 700 kilotons ish, and that is a real deal. But it's like, okay, if you want to detonate this, okay, why the heck not? But that's the stuff. This is the real deal. Do you know what I'm talking about? This
Yeah.
is, jeez.
Well, this is interesting because I didn't put this on the list, but I had this as an extra.
Okay.
That nuclear weapons were banned or illegal at last. So they said on October 24th marked the 75th anniversary of founding of the United Nations, years following the nuclear bomb dropped in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And this October 24th will go down in history as the day the nuclear weapons were declared illegal with the ratification of the UN treaty and the prohibition of the nuclear weapons. So, and they were trying to promote the United Nations was founded to promote world peace and security, which, whatever. So anyhow, they're doing something recently. I guess they're
No,
talking
give me a
about
second.
this.
I know, but I'm just saying that there are only, as I said, tiny little, and it is not only day. It is like specific hours and minutes. And once they pass this day, I mean, a specific time, do you know what I'm talking about? It's like, I don't know what, let's say 1/10th of person of power. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah. No, I know. I mean, it's crazy, and I guess they're trying to, I mean, everyone's claiming to have these weapons, but yet at the same time, it kind of neutralizes it because if everyone has them, then it's like, all right, so there's no world power. Everyone pretty much is on the same
yeah.
Okay.
On the same level. And sorry, I shouldn't laugh at it, but from my point of view, it's funny from my point of view because all the people, what the heck, how the heck is that possible? What we saw in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and for example, the what it was like. I think it was Castle Bravo. I think uh, it was the highest, if you want to call it that way. Castle Bravo was the highest. I mean, the most powerful nuclear device detonated by US, 15 megatons, and that means, right? It was 1,000 more powerful than a little boy in Hiroshima, just by the way.
I
And
know. I know that. Yeah. I
but give
mean,
me a second. But once they will detonate it outside those days and hours, and especially it is not only like days and hours, because it should be in different parts of the world. It completely changed the whole situation. So they will detonate such a crazy and huge nuclear device as, for example, Castle Bravo was, and it will have the same effect as a little boy had. No, only, I mean, pretty much no people know about that.
yeah.
Sorry, I shouldn't laugh about that, but I'm just saying this is crazy. You
Yeah.
know it.
I know. I've seen the scale of the weapons that they have
No, no, no.
and
I'm
how
just,
powerful
I'm
they
just
are.
saying it. I'm just saying it.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Okay, so we're gonna go on to the next topic so we can kind of get some other topics in here.
No,
Um,
sorry. I mean, I was just because so many people consider a nuclear weapon as a huge. I mean, the largest threat. No, it is. Sorry, it isn't. Once again, I know it is, but I'm just saying it is not that. Like crazy idea of crazy
no,
ideas.
but well, to be honest with you, the biological weapon of the virus of COVID
Not
is
on, not only COVID. Once again, they are still keeping a hook to hook back they, you know, the umbrella to hook in back into our reality and to spread other virus, I mean COVID mutations, and we can be happy and thankful to the Mute group that they didn't succeeded yet.
Yeah.
We can be very happy and very thankful to them. I'm just saying.
Yeah, because well, I am going to bring up some topics regarding that too, and we'll get to that when we come up. But yes, definitely, that kind of disabled the whole world. That disabled the whole world without
Yep.
using any bombs. I mean,
Absolutely.
it's a horrible weapon, and really horrible that they even thought of doing something like this. But we're going to have to deal with those entities that keep on wanting
Yeah, and
to destroy everything.
just by the way, what I saw, and it was, do you know what? And I will not watch my language. This was up, up. What in the world? I saw crazy mutations.
Right, and I'm going to talk about that.
No,
Let's
you
see if
don't
I
get
can
it.
find
You
it.
don't get it. You don't get it. I'm talking about crazy mutations on the, in quotes, former people and the crazy mutations caused by COVID. This is literally like in this Resident Evil movies and game series. What in the world? This is crazy.
This article right here says coronavirus mutation may have made it more contagious, and
Yep.
it shows in the study, a study involving more than 5,000 COVID-19 patients in Houston finds that the virus that causes the disease is accumulating genetic mutations, one of which may have made it even more contagious. And there was an incident, I think, in Washington State. It's either Washington State or California, where there was a combination of the flu and COVID together that they're noticing in people. So this is a study that they did. The mutation called the D614G is located in the spike protein that pries open our cells for viral entry. So they added something that even makes the body more vulnerable to it and opens up.
Yep.
Removes any type of resilience or defense against it. So the paper shows the virus is mutating due to a combination of neutral drift, which just means a random genetic changes that don't help or hurt the virus, and pressure from our immune system.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
this
is what you've been talking about. That's why I pulled this up.
Yeah, this sucks. I mean, what in the world? This sucks.
So it's a dominant form of the SARS-CoV or
SARS-CoV-2. It's technically like another name for COVID.
And this is the mutagen is the D614G.
Yep.
A study of more than 25,000 genome sequences in the UK found the viruses with the mutation tended to transmit slightly faster than those without it and cause a larger clusters of infections.
Yep. This is...
Yeah, so this exactly... Now, I didn't know that you were going to get into this, but yeah, it seems
but give me a second.
Look at how we...
Technically... And people believe us, not me, but us or not. Jessica said, and she's always doing this that way, that Jessica sent me those links. We are call it links because technically they are links in on the internet, and they are topics. And she did that like 10 minutes before the show, or maybe less. So it is like that. Yeah. And I really didn't have any single chance to get through it and to read through it. And that's the stuff, because yes, I can maybe discover something from behind the scenes that we are talking, and before the show. And I mean, recording the show, and once something interesting came up during the conversation, no, why the heck not? We are including it into the show. Am I right?
Yep. Yeah. No, I mean, we weren't planning on talking about. Well, we were planning on talking about it, but you didn't know that. So
Yeah,
yeah.
because we are making some sort of, let's say, solid list, and okay, why the heck not just start from first and finish with the last? And I was like, okay, why not? And then this happened. Yep. And that's the stuff. I love the fact that it is the flow is natural, and we shouldn't be like no we. And look at that. I talked about that more than a few hundreds, and it is here, 285. Yep,
Yep,
mutations. I said this,
285 mutations. I know. That's
but give me a second. What I was to say, more than 600 mutations were prevented to release just thanks to Murge Group. It is
wow.
crazy. It
It
is
is crazy.
it is put up. What in
You
the world?
you talked about this months ago.
Yep, yep, yep. People, the people. It was like after first wave, and people, nah, it
Like in
will be.
March, maybe?
Yeah, it
March?
was April or May or something. Once first wave, I don't want to say start to be not so bad, so start to be, how can I say it, less
Mm-hmm.
dangerous. And people said me, nah, this will not be that bad. And I said, believe me, second wave will be goddamn crazy. It will be catastrophe. Yeah, and it is it. We've got it here.
Yeah.
Gee,
Yeah. No, that's it's important, and I've told people go back and listen to some of the old discussions that we've had, and a lot of the things that you've talked about, we're seeing it now,
yep.
and we've had these discussions before. That's why I did the radio station so people can just listen at their leisure, and it's playing, and you'll hear some things that you probably wouldn't look for, and it just sort of shuffles, so you have like different shows will show up at different times, and that way you can kind of pick up what's going on. I also have other shows on there too that we discuss things, even like the Andronicus transmissions as well on the
I
radio station.
know.
But I did this so that people can go, if they're in a different time zone or they're up at night and they can't sleep and they want to try to figure out something. I guarantee you're going to find that some of this stuff was already said and that we're on track. We know what's going on. So, Peter, I believed in you way back because I knew it. I knew. I said I don't. A lot of people they weren't sure. Who is telling the truth. There's so many different people out there, and I've met plenty of people, and I've listened to many people, but I knew that Peter, you knew before everyone else, without a doubt. That's my
Thank you,
opinion.
thank you. But I'm just saying, that's like,
But you're in
some,
the ACIO, so I mean, they
yeah.
have.
So to be perfectly honest, once I am talking about bad stuff, you know what? I will be very happy not to know. Believe me, certain stuff. I'm like, oh, this is not okay. You know,
Right.
sometimes it is keep happening again and again and again. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, ah.
We're
Okay,
gonna
so
keep
we
on.
maybe can move on. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get all these really bad ads out of here. Um, let's see if I can close that. Boy, they don't make it easy. At least
Yeah.
at least two are killed and five seriously injured after a man dressed as a samurai, armed with a sword, goes into a rampage in French-speaking Quebec City on Halloween before being arrested. And someone said that he looked like he was dressed in like well, medieval garb. So at first,
Yeah. Give me a second. That's the stuff. That's the stuff. We are talking about Ghost of Tsushima. This is this game.
what is it called?
Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost
Tsushima.
of Tsushima.
Tsushima, yeah.
Okay, so you're saying this is, well, they arrested somebody, but is it the ghost moving through him, or?
Maybe I should. Maybe it will be better to give me a second to to give me a second. No, I don't like that. To send it for you.
Okay.
Yeah, this is it. What I was referring to, talking about.
Right. So,
Action adventure. Sorry, 1, 2, 3. Action adventure game, like Tsushima Island, like Jin Seikai, samurai on quest to protect Tsushima Island during the first Mongol invasion on Japan. To 1274, just by the way, very interesting game.
The invasion of Japan, or the year 1274.
Just open it. I sent a link for you.
Okay, all right.
But on private chat, maybe that's kind of problem.
Yeah, well, we'll have to do some fancy editing here.
This is what I'm talking about. Ghost of Tsushima, and those kind of people will old. How can I call it? Old. Yeah, this should be edited. That's true.
Yeah. Okay.
We should see
All right,
this.
So,
yeah.
Geez.
So
all right, Ghost of Tsushima right here. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. And those old entities, old samurais they are coming back, and they want to talk. They believe that they did their work best, as best as they can. They felt they were underestimated. Their work wasn't, how can I say it, like rewarded as it should. Do you know what I'm talking about? Appreciate. Do you know what I mean? All kind of that stuff. They are frustrated, and they are very dangerous because they know close combat. They know all the things, all kind of things. They can make how can I say it, telepathy, telekinesis, remote viewing. They are very good at close combats, all kind of those, not only Japan like ish, but Asian ish, Sorry, what?
Nothing. I think we cut out a bit.
What? How?
I don't know. It cut out a bit.
What you was able to hear?
No, that's okay. It was just like a second.
Okay, so all kind of that kind of stuff, and all kind of Asian martial arts, all kind of that stuff, and they feel not appreciated, not rewarded enough. They feel frustrated, and all kind of that stuff.
Is this like that movie 47 Ronin?
Yep.
Okay. So we got something. But
give me a second. Which kind of movie? Ronin?
47 Ronin with Keanu Reeves.
Yeah. 47 Ronin. Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
So, well, they said he was dressed in medieval clothing. I guess for Asia, that would be medieval, or is it before?
I'm just saying,
Yeah, and so this is what this ghost or whatever came through into our time. But it was Halloween, so people thought he was just wearing an outfit.
No, I completely got you, and that's the problem. I mean, people are like, nah, not a big deal, but it was a big deal.
They didn't feel respected. You're right. They didn't feel like they were appreciated for what they did in the movie, and so then it's playing out now in the game.
And that's the problem. Those developers, they absolutely didn't get. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, what? No, and that's the problem. Do you know what I'm talking about? They are inviting a lot of entities. They are getting many stories alive because with creating and releasing those games, and technically it doesn't matter, games, movies, TV shows, whatever, they don't get, it is some sort of witchcraft. I don't want to say the same level, but very similar to the witchcraft and making stuff like a Ouija board, or making some sort of those artifacts like voodoo dolls, or all kind of that ritual cult-ish stuff. And of course it became powerful, and that's the problem. Those video game creators, movie and TV show writers, they don't get it. Absolutely, because for them it is a business. It is people should entertain. They should have a rest, not arrest like being arrested for the prison, but rest. They should have rest. Do you know what I mean? Like entertain.
But is it?
Go ahead.
Is it all their fault? I mean, is it because we're manifesting now stronger than ever, and so in the past any kind of movie didn't manifest this way?
Yeah, you are right. It is in last few years. Technically, we are talking about like once last. So technically, once fifth huge solar circle ended. That means 21st December 2012. Since then it happened. It started to happen like that.
Okay, so they said the guy was a male in his 20s, was arrested an hour later. There were at least 2 were killed and 5 others were hospitalized with injuries. The police have not ruled out terrorism, but remain tight-lipped about the motive, and it comes after a string of Islamist extremist terror attacks in France.
No, give me a second. We are talking. This is about totally interesting. Another stuff. They want to rely this, like this should be related to another stuff. No, they want to cover this.
They want to say that it has to do with the
what happened in France. It was in Nice, I think. Am I right?
We have this article right here. We can get out of this crazy page and.
Yeah, you are absolutely right. Yeah.
So police in France have arrested a 3rd suspect in connection with, but this is not connected to what happened in Quebec.
Yeah, but they want to cover it. They want to make all kind of very, very weird connections and make covers. Do you know what I'm talking about? And that's the stuff. That's the, how can I say it? And that's the initial and true reason why mainstream media, respectively main media, they lose the common people's trust, because it is the same stuff or very same stuff what happened during the last economic crisis in 2008, that the media keep informing, no, everything will be completely fine, people stay calm, nothing bad will happen, and market crash, everything went to shit. No, I will not follow my watch my language, because it was like that. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Jeez, and that's the reason. It's obvious that those are two independent. How can I say it? Like events, and that no, it is connected, and vice versa. If the incidents or stuff uh, occurring, if they are connected together, they will say vice versa. Do you know what I mean? It's absolutely crazy.
So, well, they have to come up with some excuse or reason, and then they're told what to say, but they don't really know what's going on, and they're trying to string it together to create the tension between between France and the French speaking communities with the jihadists, and to create that tension between them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This is it.
But this literally, who brought in this ghost? Are you saying that this ghost that came in?
Yeah.
The samurai guy.
Yeah.
So is that going to be happening?
Like it or not? Yeah.
Is that part we
it is problem
cleared?
That will be I mean, jin, it is not jin, yin. That will be big issue, believe me. He's very powerful.
Yeah, and
he's disappointed, and he is disappointed because he did a lot of good stuff. And please, people, don't take it wrong way, but I am in the military and I am warrior, and they sucks. They sucks. I mean, the emperor, all kind of the people they were in charge, they were like, nah. Technically they hold it, the island, not only island but islands. The Tsushima was, I mean, during the invasion, the largest of them, and they were like, nah. It's like, what the heck is your duty? This is your duty. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's like, what the heck? At least show those guys some respect. Do you know what I'm talking about? This is like,
yeah,
it sucks.
Were you talking about a jin, like a DJINN, like a jin?
No, look at that. It follows Jin Sakai. Jin Sakai. It is. You can see it. Go ahead. Go to the very top, and you can see Jin Sakai Samurai.
I see it. Jin.
Yeah, but it is not Jin. It is Yin. Jin. Yin.
Are they connected? Are they connected to jins? Like
no. Once again, I'm talking about how it is pronouncing in Japan. Okay.
All right. I just wanted to clarify that.
No. It's fine. I'm just saying. Of course, he's some sort of like disconnected and all kind of that's like a distrust, all kind of that stuff. It's like.
That would be crazy.
Because once, of course, it is not an excuse. Of course, it is not an excuse, right? But I'm just saying that as myself being a warrior, being in the army, in the military, all kind of that stuff, I can see that. I can see where he came from. Do you know what I mean? Like, absolutely disrespect, total disrespect. Like, what the heck?
Right.
Those battles, it was hell. It was absolutely crazy. It was like fields of Verdun in First World War, or I don't know, like Stalingrad blockade in the Second World War. It was absolutely up situation. And though the people in charge, especially emperor family, they're like, what? It was your fault, your duty. Do you know what I'm talking about? Of course it was, but to show them some sort of respect, to those samurais, they sacrifice their whole lives, and that means not only sacrifice, like they will die, but they were chosen from very little children. Do you know what I mean? It was some sort of like Sparta-ish situation. Do you know what I mean? They were isolated, all kind of that stuff.
Right, and they weren't appreciated in their own nation. I remember
absolutely,
that movie.
absolutely, you are right.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
they have characters here. Who's the grandson of Genghis Khan and Straw Hat Ronin, the infamous Straw Hat Ronin.
Ronin is technically some sort of very like highly, how can I say it, ranked name. No, 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 not name. The word, the term for highly ranked samurai, Ronin. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You are right. Yep, yep.
All
Yeah,
right,
it's.
so we have
I'm just
that
saying. I'm
that
just
going up
saying.
in Canada. So is that could happen again, I guess. That would
Yeah,
be crazy.
they are now they are I don't want to say targeting, but it is like some random parts of the world. But I think this will go more and more frequent. It will get into more and deeper, like let's say pattern. They will infiltrate into societies, different societies. No, 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 not only western society, parts of the world or whatever. I don't know what they are up to, but once they opened this gate, they the sorry, 1 2 3, the game developers, nah, yeah, 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 bad idea. I don't
Well,
like that.
no, I don't. But they're
Because
coming
that's
from
the
another reality,
problem,
right?
but that's the problem. They absolutely don't get it. That nah, it's some sort of story. It's like, we've got the lore. Do you know what I mean? Like, this that was written and they inspired the game. No, it is powerful. It is a legend, and it is, despite it is legend, in quotes, legend only. No, are you serious? This is not legend only. And they are constantly opening the portals. Jesus.
Right.
Ah,
That's crazy.
yeah, that is. Believe me, it is.
Well, since we're talking about these elite soldiers and they're coming from another reality, right? You said
Yeah,
that
that's
they
true. That's
bleed
true.
through. Is it the parallels or timelines
To be
crossing
to be
over?
to be perfectly honest, now we are in such complicated situation that it is pretty much impossible to say it is from another timeline, another reality, or it is in quotes bleed through only. I don't know. I mean, once I don't know 100%ly, it is not shame to say I am not sure. Do you know what is the shame? To say yes, I know this and that, and don't know it.
Right.
That's the shame. Do you know what I mean? From my point of view.
Okay,
Okay,
so
go ahead.
here's another article. America hostage rescued in West Africa by SEAL Team 6 in a daring raid. We don't really hear much about SEAL Team 6. A lot of people won't even mention their name. They're frightened of them because they don't want to disrespect them. It's similar to what you're talking about with these samurais, and that's here again. It's kind of interesting
Yes,
subjects
because
coming up.
because they are doing the dirty work. Technically, it is the stuff as you was able to see in Call of Duty from last year. As they were totally screwed. The crew was totally screwed. The squad, and he was like, no, this is not okay. What in the world is that? And then he said, I mean, the the main guy, you know dirt on us, world is clean, this is how it goes, and that's it. They don't appreciate that they work. No.
They also
It's
do like interdimensional work, don't they? The SEAL
Yep.
Team 6.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the stuff that they big. That's, I don't want to say only, but one of the main reasons they don't want to talk about that. And you can pretty much, you can imagine under the term or the word in quotes they, whatever or whoever you want. So I don't know, like U.S. government, DOD, U.S. DOD, so Department of Defense, mainstream media, whatever. Yes, I don't want to say all, but many people know that they exist, all kind of that stuff. But what the heck is that about? It's almost like it look like, nah, they didn't exist. Do you know what I mean? Like, what? We never ever heard about some special missions they did. Do you know what I mean? Yes, you are right.
Yep. All right.
And I
So
know
yeah.
many people, many good guys. I don't want to say technically good guys, but great guys. They are, or they were in there, and you know they are okay.
Yeah, they're highly
But
respected.
the stuff is that they don't have any respect, zero respect. What in the world? And
I don't know
because
about that. I do think that they're respected, but people are afraid to talk about them.
no, you are not right. They are not respected. Like, how can I say it? Like, do you know what? Once they are treating them, I mean, the higher, I don't know, like officers, all kind of that stuff, they are treating them nicely, slicely and dicely. They are, so that means like absolutely wicked ass, because slice and dice, do you know what that mean? That means, okay, what do you need from us? Because they know goddamn crazy drill. They are always treated very bad, because they are making the dirtiest of the dirty work. Like it or not, it's
Right.
true.
Yeah, in that sense, yeah, they have the hardest stuff.
Yep. So there is zero chance, zero tolerance for any sort of resistance. Nope. No,
Well,
no,
right
no, no,
here
no,
it
no.
says the elite commandos jumped out of a U.S. Air Force transport plane a few miles from the target without suffering any casualties. The SEALs rescued Philip Walton, 27, after killing a number of his captors. Walton had been taken hostage by armed men last week. A Marine who drowned, saving another Marine, honored for oh, that's another article. One of the U.S. officials briefed on the mission tells Fox News it would not have been successful without help from other military services in the intelligence community. It was an extraordinary team effort with the different parts of the joint force making this happen, the official said. And there's a quote here from Donald Trump that they rescued the American soldier in Nigeria. So, I mean, this is really, you hardly ever hear about them. So I thought
But
this
this
was
is it. Give me a
interesting.
second. This is it. You can't. You can't. Because
So
they are doing the craziest stuff of the crazy stuff ever.
yeah, but I even think I've even felt like I communicated with them telepathically a few times, and it's just a very touchy situation. Very careful. You got to be very careful.
Yeah, and that's the problem, because I know many people. I don't know, from French Foreign Legion or from SAS, so Special Air Force Services. For example, you can't just normally shake their arms or whatever, because it will be fucking instant kill. It is instant. It is the reflex. They will shoot you or butcher you like crazy with the knife. It's it, and they didn't meant to. It is, it's
Yeah, to trigger because of that it's the way that they're trained and
yeah,
how they have to deal with everything, but it's part of who they are now. Yeah.
yeah. To be perfectly honest, and I will be very honest, not only with you, but way too honest with our audience. I was like that too. But then after certain occasions when I almost stabbed two of very good friends of mine, and I almost shoot to death, like, mm, you know, one I stabbed almost, and another of them I shoot almost. It was absolutely crazy.
That
So
was
I
because you were
start
triggered or something, or it was a reflex response.
reflex.
Yeah.
First off, I first time, and like it or not, there were two people. In the first two cases, very close. It was less than 1 month. I stabbed them, of course, unwillingly, and then more than 1 year after that, I shoot them, of course, not willingly, but they survived. Like, not a big deal, but
Yeah.
but it's bad. This is the stuff how
Yeah.
we are trained.
Yeah,
It's
that's
crazy.
military. Yeah, and that's why people from the military should be helped as much as they can, because they're trained in a certain way. It's hard for them to integrate into society. The ones that are actually in a military or warfare scenarios.
Yes, do you know what, actually sometimes you just pass through in the on the street, or maybe you are driving the car also, and it is like, what in the world? Jeez, it's do you know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah, like they can go off like on the highway or something like that if they're like rage. Going into you go into a rage or something like that, or cut someone off. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I think we can move to the next topic.
Yeah, of course, we are not alone. Russian scientists say we're using wrong tools to hunt for aliens. And here they say the Russian scientists believe that the only way we can finally discover extraterrestrial life is for experts and researchers from different branches to work together. Alexander Panov, a leading researcher of Moscow State's University's Research Institute of Nuclear Physics, has spent many years working on the search for extraterrestrial at the SETI, at the Scientific Council of the Russian Academy of the Sciences and the Radio Astronomy. In recent interviews, he laments the lack of interaction between researchers involved in both the searches for biological and for intelligent life out in the universe, and called for the greater cooperation pooling of resources between two distinct fields, which have essentially the same goal, to find aliens. So, and pretty much they should be collaborating. Here is over the UFO spot over Mexico, where a volcano eruption is, and then you see here is the UFO for business. Britain's Royal Air Force to declassify X-Files, kept in secret for years.
Yeah.
Interesting article talking about
You-
worldwide, and how people are acknowledging it. And, if they have the decency to come out and openly discuss this with the public, so people have a right to know what's going on.
Of course they have. Believe me. They have.
Panoff also believes that the communication between civilizations is entirely possible, but may not always be two-way, since some ancient civilizations could have stored their knowledge in a sort of cosmic cloud, which could have survived their extinction and still be present thousands of millions of years later. So, they know a lot more than they're willing to talk about, but, I think, that here it's, while some of the scientists and astronomers look for the exoplanets in the Goldilocks zone of their respective stars, some examine planets' atmospheres and search for biosignatures, and other hunt for signals of alien origin, but Panoff says there's little crossover and collaboration. So, interesting.
Yeah, this is. It's kind of funny for me, at least for me, it's funny because the fact is, that they know this for decades. Yeah, this I
or
mean
maybe even
they
100 years. I mean, there's
no
articles
no no
way
no.
back.
Of course you are right, but let's talk about the decades. They are releasing this only in this time because there are evidence. You simply cannot say, "Ah, no, this is BS." Now we've got this type of an evidence. Yep.
Yep. So here's another article. It says Russian scientists say Earth is an alien experiment. It's impossible not to wonder, are we alone in the universe? And so they go over the basic. Here again, Alexander Panoff once again, and a discussion about the Earth, humanity is under earthly imprisonment. That's what he believes, that extraterrestrials have the whole of humanity under earthly imprisonment, and they do not want to interfere with our natural progression to see if we evolve into anything worthwhile, or whether we'll just destroy everything in our paths as a quest for answers that we have always been beyond our reach. We are essentially cosmic entertainment. It lies in the fact that highly humanized civilization do not interfere with our development and are created a quarantine zone around us, a radio silence zone, so as to not interfere, not to interfere with our independent development. I mean, that's kind of like the ACIO, and
Yeah, it is. He's describing technically how it works.
yeah.
Yep. Yeah, yep. You are right.
Do you know this man, Panoff?
Yeah, of
Alexander.
course. Alex. In Russia, in Russian can call it Sasha. Yep.
So you are you've talked to him?
Let's say he works very close. I mean, his work and our work let's say coexist very close. Yep.
Here's something interesting. He said that our extraterrestrial overlords must marvel at how Americans now have to have two presidential candidates fighting over a political office that neither would be able to find if not for a GPS. If Earth really is just entertainment for superior class extraterrestrials, they're getting their money's worth. Why would they want to reveal themselves and ruin a good thing? So it is probably for the best that we keep the aliens laughing. Otherwise, they might get bored and swoop down here with ray guns blazing and show us what it's really like to live in dystopia. The last thing any of us need is to become sex slaves to a society of malevolent green anarchists.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a good sense of humor, but there's some truth in that, right? Like, if the aliens are amused by,
but that's the stuff. That's the stuff. Crazy sense of
yeah,
humor.
he's saying, in other words, let them, find this interesting, so that they don't kill us because they're bored. I mean,
Yeah.
we've had some of those ETs are like that. They're very much like that.
But like it or not, he said technically he wrote the truth. Like it or not, it's true. Yeah. That technically, we need to do this and that, and I was like, they were like, okay, for what? We need to keep them entertained. Who are they? And those people said, and you know what? Long story, long and boring story. Do you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
under the term, the noun day, it means like discovering like ETs. Jeez, it's man.
He said, oh, they said, if Panoff's theory is accurate and we humans are down here making art, writing books, and hoping that our social media followers will like our stupid photos, we think we're at the top of the food chain. All the while, interplanetary beings are up there tapping on the aquarium glass, giving us stupid pet names, and talking about how cute we are. They must be amused at how we use different interpretation of man-made texts to wage wars against each other and commit acts of terror and otherwise keep us from getting along. So they're kind of meddling and initiating some of the antagonism between us.
But I'm just saying, isn't this true?
It's true.
Yeah, just it is true. I mean, maybe it is, how can I say, like rough, in the rough way, but it's true. Sorry. It's
I was thinking about the Fermi paradox.
yeah, you
We
don't
brought
know?
this up before, right?
Yep.
And this is Enrico Fermi, and is a contradiction between the lack of evidence of extraterrestrial civilization and various high estimates for their probability, such as some optimistic estimates for the Drake equation.
Yep.
There are billions of stars in the Milky Way similar to the sun. They have all the different, many stars, hence the planets are much older than the sun. There have been many attempts to explain the Fermi paradox, primarily suggesting that intelligent extraterrestrial beings are extremely rare, that the lifetime of such civilizations is short, and that they exist, but for various reasons with no evidence. So this is the counter position of what we're just saying. Is he's saying having fun with our situation, and the Fermi says, we're not really sure, we don't have a lot of proof, right? But yet,
but that's the stuff. Just because we don't have a proof, it doesn't matter that it isn't actually the case.
Right, and that's kind of what's keeping everything in the closet still.
Yep, you are absolutely right. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So I had to bring this in because we started to bring it in last time, and
yes, we owe that to our audience. Yeah, I mean, we owe the clarification. Yep, you are absolutely right.
right.
I mean, sorry that I'm laughing, but you brought up so good topics. I'm happy. Sorry. And I'm happy actually that Dark Queen is captured, but that will be maybe a topic for next show.
Yeah, I think we should have a whole subject on that, because I have a few other ones that we can bring up regarding that, and I'll make a note of it.
Okay.
So we got, let's see, we did that, and I think we did that.
Yep.
Okay.
There is like Australian civil.
Yeah. Pentagon creates a new civilian Space Force position. State approves 46 million missile sale to Australia. I figured since you live in Australia, maybe you.
Yeah, I know that. I mean, I noticed that I know that. Yep, that's true.
Okay, so the top line, the Pentagon has created a new civilian position in the Space Force that will eliminate a layer of bureaucracy in the Defense Department, announcing Friday the Department of Justice named Justice Johnson as the acting Assistant Secretary of Defense for Space Policy, and they will be overseeing the Pentagon space war fighting policy. The role will be under the Secretary of Defense for Policy, also responsible for coordinating space policy between other agencies and international partners. The sixth branch of the military in December 2019, when President Trump signed the annual defense policy bill, the service is aimed to protect U.S. assets in space, such as satellites, from earthly threats, including U.S. adversaries. So here's this one against the other thing again.
Yeah, as I said, it's nonsense. This is pure bullshit,
Yeah, but they said that something about civilians that I thought was interesting is that they're pulling civilians into this.
Yep, they are pulling them as hostages. Yep, you are right. And it's absolutely crazy. It's against logic. Yep. It's pure nonsense.
Okay. So we'll move to the next one. All right, so this is, I know that I told everyone I would not touch this.
No, please. No, Jessica, please.
It's not, we're going to skip the Q name there. But we're going to talk about the conspiracy theories. So what they're doing now is they're using the Anon group as a reason to say everyone that talks about even some of the topics we talk about, Peter, that we're all crazy and we're extreme. So this is another movement that is trying to get people to stop sharing information, and saying how crazy everyone that thinks along these lines should be monitored in some way. Or this woman's complaining about that there was a some kind of mind quiz or something, or that she couldn't control her student. Not that she should, but he has a freedom of speech. But it's a conspiracy. It's an attack on conspiracy theory. So I'm not going to get into the Anons, but in the sense of just the whole topic of that anyone that is labeled under conspiracy theory could be subjected to ridicule.
Potential danger. I know what you are trying to say. Yeah.
That's all I wanted to say. And I don't know if we're going to still have freedom of speech the way that they're trying to shut everyone up about this, because it's not theories. These things have been proven, but they call everything a theory that doesn't fit in mainstream media, and that's where we started from the beginning.
But give me a second. Once we avoid even mentioning certain stuff, we will be pretty much okay. At least I think. Just avoid the certain names, all kind of that stuff, and that will be pretty much stuff.
Okay, so we talked about how big Netflix raises U.S. subscription prices as it rides a wave of popularity. The shows that are coming out on Netflix are pretty interesting and very revealing at times. And I was just curious if what the agenda is here with Netflix. Are they doing this type of disclosure on some things, or what's going on?
Yes, they are. Why?
Okay.
They are doing some sort of type of help me. We call it soft disclosure, right? But there is a problem that sometimes it is, let's say, they are making it in very controversial way in the first place, and sometimes I don't want to say it is misleading, but how can I say it? Like it is very complicated riddle. It is like crazy-ish, complicated-ish puzzle, or I don't know, like pattern or so. Like do you know what I mean? And like people, they watch those shows for entertaining. They don't want to deal with disclosure. Do you know what I mean? They just want to see. Do you know? And that's the stuff. It is like, okay, it is very good. You are introducing those shows. I mean, I'm addressing this to Netflix, but vast majority of people, they will watch this. They will not take it serious. Do you know what I mean? And this is only one way, one point of view. Another way, another point of view, even from my point of view, or from my side, they make it extremely complicated. They are making it very complicated. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of, it's in your face, but it's sort of, it comes up, plays out like a show, so you don't really quite see it as being disclosure, but it definitely is revealing some very interesting scenarios through storyline.
Yeah, but give me a second. This is what I'm talking about. Not only this, but another stuff too, that it is extremely complicated. It is not like TV show Fringe. Do you know what I mean? or I don't know, Lost, or 4400s, or whatever I'm talking about. Do you know what I mean? It is not like that. It is not like Continuum. It is not like Humans or so. Do you know what I mean? It is not like that. Or
Well, they
Humans
have
or
the
Heroes or Humans or Heroes or Warehouse 13 or Agents of Shield. I mean Marvel's Agents of Shield. That's the stuff. Or of course I almost forget Falling Skies. Do you know what I mean? Or what is this Umbrella Academy?
Umbrella Academy. Yep, yeah. There's quite a few
No,
different shows, and I was watching.
give me a second, but this is it. They are making it crazy complicated. I mean that in quotes, that means we are talking about soft disclosure, because they know that elites, I mean the mainstream media, because mainstream media are technically puppets, like it or not, they are puppets in elites' hands. And they, I mean the people, being in charge of Netflix, they know that they need to be super cautious in what they are what they are releasing and how they are doing it. Do you know what I mean? That's the stuff.
Yeah, I mean there was that show Raised by Wolves, which was
Sorry, what?
Raised by Wolves.
Yeah, you were right.
Yeah, I mean there's a lot of very very interesting interesting programs, and a lot of people are telling me about it. They've kind of gotten hooked on it. I think they started in 1997, so they've somehow hooked into this information. I don't know who is doing the producing, but they definitely have an agenda. Is this a species or anybody that's behind this in particular?
Behind what? Sorry, behind what?
Behind some of their storylines or shows.
No, I mean it's good. We can be the happiest as we can, but give me a second. That's the problem. The patterns, the riddles are extremely complicated. You need to be goddamn focused. You need to see. Yeah, I mean you can't skip any single. You can't miss any single. You need to watch. Sorry, my bad. You need to watch every single part. You can't skip only. Sorry, you can't skip any single part. You need to watch it like I don't know 2 or 3 or 4 times or whatever. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah, very crazy.
But that's the stuff. They are doing good. I mean, good things. But once again, they know that they need to be super cautious.
There was that
Because
show, Dexter, I think, was another
oh
one.
no, that's crazy. Yeah,
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
that was crazy. Yeah, that was holy crap. Yeah.
but I've like I said, I was pretty shocked, um, to see, what, thinking that you're just watching a show and it turns out to be this whole other thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, very involved. Okay, so
Okay.
I'm gonna go
We
on
can we
to
can
the
we, we
next.
can move on. I think.
This is the world's record entanglement storage sets up a milestone for Quantum Internet Alliance. Now we're talking about the internet hooking into the quantum. Researchers from Sorbonne University in Paris have achieved a highly efficient transfer of quantum entanglement into and out of two quantum memory devices. This achievement brings a key ingredient for the scalability of a future quantum internet. A quantum internet that connects multiple locations is a key step in quantum technology roadmaps worldwide. In this context, the European Quantum Flagship Program launched the Quantum Internet Alliance in 2018. The consortium, coordinated by Stephanie Weiner from Q Tech Delft, consists of 12 leading research groups of universities from 8 European countries. In a close cooperation with over 20 companies and institutes, they combine their resources in areas of expertise to develop a blueprint for future quantum internet and the required technologies. In a normal network connection, nodes exchange information by sending electrons or photons back and forth, making them vulnerable to eavesdropping. In a quantum network, the nodes are connected by entanglement, Einstein's famous spooky action at a distance. These non-classical correlations at large distances would allow not only secure communications beyond direct transmission, but also distributed quantum computing or enhanced sensing. Obviously I can keep reading. It's an interesting article. Is there any danger with them creating the internet through the quantum field?
Yeah, because as I said, it is like quantum break. Quantum break. It's technically the stuff how the game was released. The whole in quotes monarch-ish agenda was released. Revealed that it exists, all kind of that stuff. So long story short, what happened? Bad thing misused in the previous times, completely turned upside down, and it is used. That means used for good purposes. We are using technology previously built and used by monarch for bad things, and we are using it for good things, for good purposes. We can be happy.
Okay, so this is a good thing then. So
Here's
an example of advanced technology that they're actually going to do something good with it. There's no possibility that some of the upside down world is going to seep into.
Give me a second. We are talking about internet via quantum field. Right. Internet. They need to set everything in completely different way. The vibration, energetic level, all kind of that stuff to, in quote, misused this type of quantum field, because you have, I don't know, like tens, maybe hundreds of thousands or maybe millions of types of quantum fields, okay? And this is it. It is like, for example, yes, of course, we talked about that. You can build and create crazy destructive stuff, as it is atomic and then later on hydrogen bomb. But yeah, we can have, once we are careful enough and don't create Chernobyl and Fukushima, we can create a lot of power. That means like juice, as I like to say, so an electric energy. Do you know what I mean? Once we are careful enough. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Right. We've been missing out on some really cool stuff because of those that wanted to misuse.
Technologies. It is exactly like that. It is not that complicated.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so it's good to know. We had a really weird thing. This is from Soundings, Real Boats, Real Boaters, I guess. I don't know. It's an article. Monstrous wave recorded off of the Irish coast. What happened here?
Try to think.
It was 98.4 feet. It was recorded by an offshore weather buoy in the waters west of Ireland last week. The wave was generated by a tail end of a Hurricane Epsilon and is considered one of the highest waves ever recorded in the Irish waters. The aftermath caused unusual wave action right off the coast of the Emerald Isle and caused one Irish surfer to go out and tackle some 60-footers. You can read, and then they showed, I guess, him surfing.
So the stuff is, it was, the one very big, really like crazy big, like huge space mothership, they it landed, and this happened because they landed, like it or not, they landed on the surface. They landed on the surface, on the like sea surface. They some of the motherships are literally built like that. They need to land on the surface.
Wow.
I mean, this was technically not only for water surface. It is like both, like for
Okay. Yeah, so they just showed the wave earlier. I guess this is a guy that was in the wave. But he's surfing here. That's crazy.
yeah, you are right. I mean, this particularly mothership, it can land on normal solid soil and sea surface, like both. But some motherships can land only on water surface. Okay, so I
What that
think
this
we
was
can.
what this was this was the mothership that created Epsilon. What about what happened with there was another one called Zeta, which is clearly an ET name that they named
Yes, of
another
course,
storm.
because Zeta wants to see us, and I was like, what the heck? No, you will create the storm, and they were like, yeah, no, and they were like, you are laughing here, and I was
Yeah,
like,
I
but give me
heard
a
them.
second, and they were like, I just want to hear you, friend, and I was like, no, you are not friend. Of course, he's very good old friend of mine, but he was like, you should say me that I will cause this, like a little child.
They are like little children. They told me that they didn't like that the other Greys were trying to tell them what to do, and they broke away from them.
Yeah, you
Is
are
that
right.
true? When did that
No, yeah,
happen?
yeah, yeah, you're absolutely right. Yep, yep, yep.
When did that just recently happen? Because they seemed like they were a lot nicer.
Yeah, you are right. Okay, so I think that we can move on to our today's last topic.
Yep. This is scientists are considering literally modifying the Earth's atmosphere to save us from climate change. Are they going to screw us up more than they're helping us? What do you think, Peter?
This will not happen. In this reality, nope. I mean, they think, they consider all kind of that stuff, but it will not work. Believe me. No, believe me, it will not work.
Yeah, I mean they're comparing this to like volcanic, an explosion of a volcano, which creates an obstruction from the sun to the earth, and they're saying this is because of all different things that we're using that's creating this
No,
greenhouse
no,
effect.
I know what you are talking about. Absolutely,
Yeah.
believe me, I know, I know.
Yeah, I just want to make sure the public understands what we're talking about here. I mean, of course, we always have all the links. We try to have every link that we talk about and then some, in and you can always click on it and read it more thoroughly. We don't have the time to really thoroughly get into each and every article, but we leave that up to the listeners if they're particularly interested in one topic to do a little bit of reading on their own. So
Yep.
essentially, so this is from the old context of existence. We don't have to worry about them screwing up
Absolutely,
anything
you are
else
right.
at this
You are,
point.
you are right. I mean, despite all of those are recent events, once again, we are talking about the residual effects. That means something what is, like, like you've got engine or so, for example, but it can't stop just right away. There are, for example, whales and all kind of that stuff, pistons. They simply have certain time. They are still moving. Do you know what I mean? And those are residual effects or so. No, this is it.
What about are they going to create a system where people have cleaner running products, machinery, and factories, and clean up our air,
Yeah,
clean up
that will happen. But as I said, give it some time. Give it some time.
Okay, well, I think that's the end of the topics. I mean, I do have a bunch of other stuff too, but we don't have time for that today, so we'll save that for another day. And very, very interesting, Peter. Thank you so much for sharing your information, and we always appreciate it. And thank you to the listeners for your support, and also the many questions that you have, or sharing information that you have. So. Like I said, this is going to be a community effort of getting out information, sharing information, and thanks to Peter and the ACIO and sharing further insights for us going forward.
So I want to thank you for giving me regular opportunity to be on your show. Thank you, our listeners, for paying attention till the end, and I'm looking forward and he'll hear each other. So till next time, bye bye.
Okay, have a good day, everyone.
You have been listening to Disclosures with Peter the Insider and Jessica Ariel Morocco. Join us on YouTube channel Jessica Ariel Morocco and visit www.peter-insider.com and www.readingsbyariel.com. Remember to post your questions in the comment section below the video. We look forward to hearing from you.